Hey, Mike. It's a beautiful day. It's a great day to talk about RVing. Great. How are you? That's right. My apologies, Mike. I did not have you in here, so it just looked like I was talking to myself.
No,
So that's
it's
great. So
okay.
let's
It's
start
okay.
over. Hey, everyone.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. You know what Wednesdays are, and Wednesdays are live or taped sometimes, depending on travel. But we are all about being live on Facebook when it comes to Wednesday nights, and we're doing that tonight. So, super excited to be on with you all again tonight. But tonight, we have a guest, and that is Courtney Baez with Go RVing. So, say what's up.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here with Mike. Excited to talk all things spring and go RVing.
I know we got a lot to talk about, and I wanted to just back up, and I'm hoping everybody can hear us. I saw a note come through that somebody might not be able to hear us, but maybe now that I've come through, they can hear us. Um, Here's what's really cool: we've done a Wednesday night video from the beginning of the new year until now, so we've been pretty consistent about that, sharing fun tips, tricks, hacks, and all the things happening in the RV industry. But tonight's special because, as you and I were talking kind of offline, this is where it all started. Like the first time I was ever on Facebook Live was with you. And for those that don't know Courtney, she is the marketing genius with Go RVing. She manages the ship and is part of the reason that you have so much great content happening. So, what are we going to talk about tonight? Do we want to talk about some fun things?
I think we should. I think we should. I think, for me and I think for you, there's some really great warm weather happening. I know that that's not the case across the country, but I think it's a perfect time to start thinking spring, thinking about, whether you have an RV and you're going to get ready to start taking that out and planning those summer trips, or maybe you haven't purchased one yet and you just don't even know where to get started. So I think this is a great time to talk about that.
I agree with you. Spring is around the corner. It was 70, north of 70 here in the South today. So whether you're in Nashville or in Atlanta, you're looking at beautiful weather. And that's the first thing that crosses my mind. I passed so many RVs today. I think everybody's starting to mentally get in that transition of, hey, let's get out and start thinking about RVing. So let's talk about some of those things that people need to think about as they get ready to dust off their RV. You want to start with winterization and dewinterizing your RV?
Sure. I think it's a great time. Let's do it. No. No, I think if you're in the Midwest right now and there's, several inches of snow falling, this might not be for you, but I think it is that time to start, getting all of your stuff together, pulling the RV out of storage, doing some outside checks to your RV, making sure everything's okay, and then, again, starting that dewinterization process, whether that's you doing that yourself, or if you're going to take it into your dealer, get that scheduled so that, when that right weather rolls around, you're ready to go and hit the road.
I think you just brought up something really unique. I know that for me, when the weather starts to change, I start getting antsy. I'm like, I'm getting antsy. So as I'm starting to think about, and Flora and I start thinking about planning our trips, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Um, I start making so we tuck our RV away for the time that we're not in it. We tuck it in a storage facility. I'm antsy and I go over and I start doing walk arounds. So you don't have to be pulling it out to actually get it ready to
Mhm.
dewinterize. You can actually do walk arounds and start checking things. And what's great is I know on the Go RVing website, there's a variety of different videos that you can go to and look at and review that'll give you kind of the breakdown of some of the things to look for. But of course, if you're in Minnesota right now, I think it's 8 below. You might not be thinking about it just yet. You might have to rely on GoRVing.com to find that information.
But you know what? If you are in Minnesota and it is pouring snow and you're getting, a couple feet of snow, go to GoRVing.com. Find some inspiration. Like there are plenty of different ways you can use your RV, even in the snow. Maybe not while it's pouring down, but maybe you're a snowboarder, a skier, or you just you like that cold weather. There's, plenty of places where ice fishing is still happening if you have an ice fish house. So I think, winter doesn't mean that you can't go RVing. I think it's just a little bit different. You have to think about it in different ways. Obviously it's quite different from summer or spring or even fall. But, don't let that get you down. You can go watch some videos, be inspired for maybe your next adventure.
I love that. And inspiring is like the key. So here's a question I have for you. And I kind of know the answer, but I think it's good to just ask it. So if you are new to the world of RVing, how can I get started? Right? Like a lot of us that are on Go RVing and the social pages, we've done it before. But if you're someone that's new, just checking in for the first time, how do I get started?
I think, I'd be crazy not to say to go to GoRVing.com to get started. But, I think the first thing you need to do is just think about like what kind of RV you want. Do you have a vehicle that you can tow with, or are you looking for a motorized unit? We have a great quiz on Go RVing where you can go in, you can kind of input some of this information, how many people you're going to be traveling with, kind of what your travel style is, and it will start lining you up a little bit with, a type of RV that might be right for you. So I think once you kind of identify, what, I know that I don't want to tow, I know I want a motorized RV, that's A, B, or C. So what type do you want? And you can start narrowing that down. Or maybe you want a travel trailer. So look and see what you have as a tow vehicle. How much can you tow? And taking that next step. But you can go to Go RVing, you can take that quiz, you can even tour some of the RVs, do a little virtual tour of some of those RVs. Look on our social channels. We've got a lot of those personalized tours. I know you've done some of those for us, Mike, and you can kind of like look and see. This is also show season for our RVs. There's shows happening all over the country. So if you think, oh man, I just really want to get in and I want to touch one, I want to feel one, I want to tour one, we can guide you to some of those. Find an RV show in your area, get in there, walk around, talk to some of the dealers there. Maybe they don't have everything from their lot that's, at this show, but they can talk to you about what they do have and what might suit your needs best.
My wife, Courtney, will not let me go to RV shows because I inevitably want to buy something. It's
Don't we
so
all?
bad. I'm like, I want to buy that and I want to buy that and then I want to buy that. But we're excited because with Go RVing with Caudills, we're getting ready. We've already set up. Now we've got 3 trips planned. It started with 1, then it went to 2, and we've got one that's actually in a week and a half from now, which is a non-conventional trip. And I think the lifestyle is something that, at least moving into 2023, you can go to Go RVing, you can search RVs, you can get a good vibe and understand what it is you're looking for. But at the same time, it's all about that experience. So I think as you're looking at RVs and what you might fit your family and what it is you want to do, I think you should also start looking at what is the experience I want to have when I get there. Do I want a boondock, which means, going out on a piece of property or a location with no one else, with no amenities? Or do I want full hookups? Do I want to camp near a river? Do I want to camp near a lake? Kind of identifying some of that stuff. With us, as we think about, our travel trips, our first one in 2 weeks is actually for a volleyball tournament. We're loading up the motorhome. My daughter is like, Dad, how many people can we take? And I'm like, well, you got to have seatbelts for everybody. So, we're going to take my daughter and 3 other girls, my wife and son. So we've got seatbelts for everybody. And we're going to actually host an entire volleyball team at the Cartersville Convention Center outside, barbecue, grilling, let the girls stay close, have a good time. So what are your thoughts on ways to plan travel moving into summer?
Well, I think you brought a really, really good point too, that there's no right or wrong way to go RVing, right? RVing can be about taking those epic road trips across the country. And I think that's what so many people think about. But there's other unconventional ways to use it too that are really maybe becoming more conventional, where you're going to volleyball tournaments, maybe it's a soccer tournament or a hockey tournament, and it's that kind of that base camp for in between those games. I think exploring your own backyard is another possibility where you don't have to take these really long trips because maybe your kids are involved in sports. So maybe you just want to take a weekend trip here or there, in between those games. But, I think you're right. I think there's so many different possibilities that are out there that you can think about. And again, do you want to be a boondocker? Do you want to have all of the amenities and go to these big RV resorts and take advantage of all those pieces? Or do you want to, like, maybe it's your state parks in your state where Um, Not all the bells and whistles. Maybe you're really wanting to unplug and kind of get away from it all and do some hiking and reconnect with nature. So I think that's a big thing to think about. But if you are an RVer, this is the time. Like you should be out there making your reservations. You should be planning those trips because they will go fast. RVing is still very popular. There's still a huge interest in RVing in the past few years, and I don't see that dying down anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I just today on the 24 freeway between Nashville and Atlanta, so many RVs are out on the road, and I think this unseasonal warm weather is getting everybody excited. I know that April, is literally 3, 4 weeks away, right? It really kicks off that time of year when a lot of at least the Sun Belt and some of the northern campgrounds start to open.
Right.
They open their doors for those that are still kind of on the fringes of cold, and they want to start getting out and doing it. I know we are. We're excited. We've got the Cartersville program, so it's a volleyball tournament, which we'll use our RV for something lifestyle related for the family. Then we've got Easter coming up, and we've decided to do a 3, 4 day trip here in Tennessee, which is going to be awesome. We love the falls. There's so many amazing falls in Tennessee, so we're going to do a little bit of that. And then, of course, as you and I have talked about, that Myrtle Beach Travel Park is coming. I want to host everybody with Go RVing there. I want to be like, come over. I'm going to grill tonight. Everybody in the whole park, all 360 of you, come hang out.
We are going walk down memory lane. Yes, so much fun, and I think you're right. Everyone's getting geared up and planning, and I know we're excited here. And I live very close to a national park, and I've seen RVs out and about on the roads year round. So I don't think that has died down around here a lot. And it's a great time to be out and doing those hikes. It's the heat isn't here. You can see so much when those leaves are off and things that you have never experienced before. So maybe there's favorite hikes that you've done, when the leaves were green and it was lush and beautiful. Try it now. See, get that different experience.
Let me switch gears and just while I have you ask some internal industry things that maybe you've observed. So as we move into 2023, we know that modern technology is really starting to make its way into the RV industry. And I had a chance to learn about a couple different battery makers that, for years I've had lead acid batteries and I daisy chain them together. And, it gives me, with a bigger coach, a bigger RV, it only gives you a certain amount of time to use those. Then I stumbled on a couple different companies that have these batteries that are lithium ion or lithium phosphate, and they can actually power for 2 to 3 days your entire house. Are you seeing internally from a marketing standpoint people moving towards technology?
I think so. And I think it's been something that has been building for a long time. I've been in this industry for 16 years. And, even 10, 15 years ago, there was a lot of interest from RVers in adding solar to their units. I think probably about 10 years ago, we were looking at 20, 30% of people were really into that and really starting to add on. And I think as technology grows, I think, you're going to see a lot of RVers starting to adopt those technologies. Our RV manufacturers are certainly, getting into that market with, the electric vehicles. Maybe that's not a today thing that's going to happen and you're going to buy one tomorrow and go 1,000 miles down the road in a day. But I think it's building towards that. And I think we're taking those steps. And I think there's a lot of interest from consumers. I think there's a lot of interest from RVers. And we're gonna sit back and watch that grow over the next, I would say, probably decade. I think even electric tow vehicles have come a long way in the past few years where we're going to see, that come into play a little bit more. But I definitely think solar and, lithium ion batteries, and especially for those who don't maybe want that campground experience. Maybe they are, folks who live in the city, but this is their getaway to get out and boondock, and this is their way to completely unplug from nature and plug into nature. So I think you're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah, it's a great point. You just mentioned solar. When I was up in Elkhart for the big week long open house, a lot of these brand new RVs that are coming off the assembly line actually have solar already built into the top. I know one of Thor's brands, Keystone,
Mhm.
all of their RVs are now coming with solar on top. I know a lot of the brands, Jayco and others out there now, they've got solar up on top. So if you are in the market for a new RV and you are big into technology, These new RVs are lighter weight, which means you can
Mhm.
tow a bigger RV with less vehicle. They have all kinds of cool solar technology, internet capacity. In fact, I saw one RV in Elkhart that actually had, instead of having a big storage area in the back, it was actually designed by the RV manufacturer to be an office, right? Because
Mhm.
people are working from the road, they're coming with all kinds of internet capacity. I know King Connect has some stuff out there, and there's a variety of brands that you can choose from that provide internet connectivity. But that's really exciting to me.
It is, and I think this, this workforce that we have now, where maybe it's a hybrid situation, maybe you're fully remote, maybe you're just taking those extended vacations from work, and you still need to be connected. There are so many different ways that you can stay connected. Offices, you can take your kids on the road. If you're a homeschooler, you can do some road schooling with them and show them these places that they're learning about in the history book. Take them out in the woods, show them these pieces of science that they're learning about leaves, and seeing flowers in a book is not the same as being out there and touching them and seeing them and really being one on one with them. So I think there has been this whole world that has opened up to people beyond that idea of traditional camping, and that's really exciting too. And our manufacturers, our aftermarket suppliers, they're really finding ways to keep people connected if they want to be. Again, you still have that opportunity to turn it all off, completely unplug, but if you need it, that technology is there.
Turn it off. And then my kids get up in the morning, they're like, turn it on. And I'm like, you're not going to stay in the RV all day. We're going to go on a hike. We're going to go to the beach. We're going to ride our bikes. And, that's the part we love the most is that, boy, we only have so much time with our little ones at home, Courtney, and it's like off to college they go. So I'm excited about this summer because my son, as we speak right now, literally my son Tyler at 16, go RVing with Tyler. He is at the Department of Motor Vehicles working to get his driver's license today, right now.
It's crazy. I
It's
don't know how it
crazy.
happens.
I know he's going to drive the motorhome. That's what it is. I'm like, hey, you're recruited. You're going to back the travel trailer up at 16. We're going to teach you how to do that, and you're gonna learn how to drive the motorhome. Not really on that one yet, but it's exciting. What else? Is there anything we can look forward to with Go RVing here in the next few months? I know I've got some new videos that are coming on the dealership side to help people, as they get ready to make their purchasing. Some more videos like that. What about you?
Just lots of new content that we're working on with some of our partners like you. Just really looking forward to finding new and innovative ways to introduce people to RVing. Again, continuing some of those how-to videos. Like if you've bought that RV and now you're a little worried because you can't remember everything, making sure we have, those pieces available on GoRVing.com so you can see those. Again, like RV shows really hot right now. Go out, see them, get hands-on experience with those RVs. If you don't know what type of RV you want, you're still on the fence. Great rental companies. There's dealerships who rent them. You could go to the peer-to-peer rentals. Test them out, try them out. Maybe you think you really want a teardrop, but you realize you need a little bit more room and you really need to move up to a bigger travel trailer. Or maybe you've decided you want to bring all the toys along and you really need a toy hauler. But now is a great time to start, renting those, get those rentals in, take them out, little short trips. Some, if you don't have a tow vehicle, some of them will even set them up for you at a campground. So again, I think that's what's really important at this time. And then, get ready to kick off the summer season. We've got, Memorial Day will be here before you know it. I know it's kind of the unofficial kickoff to summer, but
I
I
know.
think that's kind of the benchmark that everyone sets. So, kids will be out of school before you know it. It doesn't seem like that now, I know, but it's happening fast. So, get started today. Don't sit around and wait. Start planning now.
Yeah, because the last thing you want is to, say, "Oh, I want to go to the X location," and then you go online and it's like, sold out, sold out. You want to be able to get in early enough. And there are a lot of great places to camp. Boy, we had such a great time last year being out for almost a month in the RV, and this year we're doing it a little bit differently. We're going to be setting up a full campsite everywhere we go. Like it's going to be full campsite with everything, lights and all that fun stuff. And we're going to invite everyone in and say, hey, go to Gorving and check us out because there's a lot of fun stuff happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of great, and let's not, forget about all of those cool accessories that you can have for your campsite too. You know, you need your camping chairs, you need your fire, your stoves, you need those s'more makers and the lights, and trick it all out too. So, you know, don't forget about those fun pieces. If maybe this is your second year camping and you don't have all of those, you know, head out to your dealer. They have a lot of, you know, cool stuff that you can check out and, you know, check out that RV.
That's a great point. So, my normal Wednesday videos last for 5 to 6 minutes, and you and I are at 21 minutes, girl. We just took us to 21 minutes. It's fun being on, and I know everyone enjoys watching all these videos, but I always say this, I sure love getting on with you. It takes a lot of pressure off me, getting to talk to you about all the wonderful things happening inside the team, marketing team there at Go RVing. So I appreciate you having me on today and you being on with me. And
Absolutely. Anytime.
we should do it again soon.
Yes, absolutely. Well, let's
All
do.
right.
I'll join you for St. Patrick's Day, and we can talk about some fun St. Patrick's Day camping ideas.
I will bring Megan on for that. My daughter, you should bring one of your kids on. We'll do one of the kids, and we'll have them all dressed up as leprechauns.
As leprechauns, there you go.
That's how we do it.
A little luck of the Irish. Well, thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a wonderful Wednesday. I'll be back next Wednesday with some more content and talking about some new things that we're doing in the RV industry. Hope everyone has a great night.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.